Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream until I...
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Pixel Dragon here, back with another video. And today I got rank 35 Ruffs, which I did in Duo Showdown. So if you guys didn't know, this is my first rank 35 in Duo Showdown with my friend Nate. Be sure to check out his channel, his link will be in the description below. This is probably the most broken comp in the game right now, as it doesn't really have any counters. Basically, I would recommend having Mr. P on every comp, because he basically carries, and anyone else like Byron, Ruffs can help support him, but overall, Mr. P does most of the work in duos. This is the best comp in my opinion though, because Ruffs can give the health boost and the power up to Mr. P to give an advantage over other Mr. Ps, which is very helpful later on, because at the beginning of the game this comp might not be as strong, but towards the end game, even if you have less cubes, the higher cube teams might not be able to push you because your Mr. P is all buffed up, and they don't really want to rush a Mr. P overall. So as the Ruffs, the main thing you want to do is go aggressive at the start to get the cubes, because that's your only role, and get some supercharge. All you have to do is just stand next to the Mr. P and boost his health up, and go aggro to get the cubes and get the power up, and after that you're basically useless. Just help him at close range to make sure no Edgar or Stu rushes him. So we did this the day Stu came out, so no one was really that experienced with him yet, so it was probably easier. Right now this was the rank 35 game, and we needed a first place to get the rank 35, so we were versing a 13 cube team, so there was a really low chance of us winning. Somehow I ended up taking out that Mr. P, and after this we knew we won and got the rank 35, and we were pretty happy because it took us only 4 days, but it was a lot of work. Let's hop into the next game. So hopping to next game, I would recommend getting the boxes that are only in front of you and coming back for the other ones later, because those ones aren't contested at all. So like the one over there, we aren't going to get it because we know that no one else is going to take it. So we see a Colt, and a Colt's not that good, so we know that we have a better matchup over him. Basically, as Mr. P and Ruffs, this comp is really good for rushing people, so I recommend rushing everyone that doesn't have a Byron or Mr. P. Basically, if they don't have a Byron or Mr. P, they can't really hold themselves as well, because our comp is so good with the Mr. P new gadget, which you can just throw a porter on them and they have to waste some ammo and back up, which is huge for positioning, as you can push them all over the map and push them into other teams. So right now there's 3 teams remaining, and we see that the other team's getting cornered, so we back up so that the other team can finish them off, so we don't have a chance of dying. So we just let the other team do all the work, and we're just healing up. I still haven't gotten the power up for Nate yet, which is probably essential, so I go out and try to get it here. Somehow the other team didn't die yet, so we just come in to help. And I always give the power up to the Mr. P, because Ruffs with the power up, he doesn't have much range, so he's not as useful with it, and it's always better than the Mr. P. So we see there's a 10 cube Colt, and we know that we have a chance of winning because Mr. P is better than Colt in duos, and even though we have 5 cubes, he is buffed up with a lot of HP and the power up. So as long as we play correctly, we'll be able to win. So only the Colt is left remaining, and we can 2v1 him, and there's nothing really he can do, and the teammate spawns back. Usually I calculate the respawn time because it's important. They might be able to rush you with the invulnerability bubble, which can be very annoying, so I recommend doing that. So hopping into the next game, we get 1 easy cube off the start, and we also get this one. And always rush mid as Ruffs, and your Mr. P can support from the outside, it doesn't really matter if the Ruffs dies. Just be sure there's no Edgars around to jump on your Mr. P, because the Ruffs needs to get as many cubes as possible, and if the Mr. P has a lot of cubes, he can basically just carry the whole game. This game was a really fast game. I didn't really do much. Nate was just chasing people around and getting kills. It was already showdown pretty quickly, and I finally caught up to him to give him the power up. And 8-bit and Stu isn't really a good comp, so at this point we knew we won. The maps I recommend is Stormy Plains, Double Trouble, and I think we also did it on one more map. I forgot the name. Scorched Stone. Yeah, Scorched Stone was pretty good, as long as you get the bot early. But this map is really good once you clear the MM and get rid of all the sweaty teams with a bunch of Mr. P's. It can be frustrating at first since every team will have Mr. P and Byron or Ruffs, but as long as you place third or higher every game, then it won't be too bad. So we know that we should stay away from Ruffs because he outranges us. I was really scared here because this team was rushing us with an Edgar, and when Mr. P's by himself, he gets countered by Edgar because Mr. P doesn't have enough DPS at close range. But if you see an Edgar around as Ruffs with your teammate, I recommend saving the power up and dropping it when you feel like he's about to jump, because it will knock him back and do a lot of damage, and the Mr. P will be able to finish him off. So some counters I would stick away from is probably Byron, because he outranges, and Max can be really annoying sometimes as she can speed around her teammate and it can be hard to hit shots. So right now we're just pushing down, but we don't really want to rush them because fighting from the top is a big disadvantage because it's always harder to shoot down and you get one less tile of vision. So right now we seem like we were getting pinched, and I just tried to spin. There's nothing else we could really do, and somehow we ended up winning this. The Edgar wasted the jump just for Qs. I see a bunch of Edgars do that. I don't really know why. It's just a waste of a jump in my opinion. We're sitting fine right now because we have 5 cubes and our Mr. P's buffed, but I know the Edgar jump is there, so I need to get my power up to make sure that we're safe. Use your sandbags for protection early on in the game, and also when you're getting pinched. But when you're in a one-on-one team interaction, it's not really necessary unless you're about to die. So I saved that power up there, and as you can see, I knocked the Edgar into the storm. And this Mr. P has 12 cubes, and it was a pretty sane game. I ended up going down, but Nate was able to finish it off because he had positioning over the other Mr. P. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Peace.